one of the saddest moments of the year in WWE involved Brock Lesnar. In fact, this moment was so sad that he hasn't been back in WWE since. At the 2022 SummerSlam pay-per-view, undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns took on Brock Lesnar in a last man standing match. This was a very brutal match, and many fans believed that if Brock Lesnar didn't win, it might be the end of his career in WWE. Brock did everything he could to try and win the match, including lifting the ring with a tractor, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough as the ref counted to 10 and Roman Reigns was victorious over Brock Lesnar. And many fans wondered if they would ever see him in wrestling ever again. After his loss to Roman, Brock didn't just walk out of the arena. Instead, he actually climbed back into the ring that had been lifted up with the tractor, and he climbed up to the corner of the ring that had been lifted up, and he stood there, and he looked around at the crowd, and he had his cowboy hat on, and you could see the emotion in his face, and you could see him beginning to well up as it looked like he was about to cry. And then he took off his cowboy hat and he raised it towards the sky, and many fans took this as Brock Lesnar saying goodbye to the fans. This segment was not included on the actual pay-per-view broadcast, and it was only seen the next night on Raw when they showed the footage, but also some fans did also record the footage on their cell phones and posted it online. Brock Lesnar has not been back to WWE since this moment. Could he come back, or is this the end? Was him raising his hat to the sky a sign that his career in wrestling was over and he was saying a sad goodbye? Or did it mean, I'm not done yet, don't count me out, I still have more to give to the wrestling business? But no matter what happens with Brock Lesnar and his future in WWE, fans will always remember this moment where they saw the real Brock Lesnar completely out of character, completely unscripted. This was not part of a script that WWE handed him. Instead, this was something that Brock did on his own. And to make things even sadder, Brock Lesnar, after he raised his hat and said goodbye to the audience, he went over to the front row at ringside and began to shake hands with the fans in attendance. This included some of Brock's younger fans, as well as some of his older fans, as Brock obviously was saying thank you for your support. And this was a side of Brock Lesnar that we rarely see, especially on WWE TV. So this was a very tender moment after he raised his hat. This was also not on the pay-per-view. This was recorded after the pay-per-view went off the air. Roman Reigns was recently involved in a segment that many fans said was the saddest moment of his career. Roman Reigns' faction, The Bloodline, has been hugely successful in WWE. Roman has said again and again that he is all about family and making sure that his family controls the world of wrestling. And it was because of this Roman was involved in something very, very sad. It happened on an episode of SmackDown. The Bloodline walked down to the ring as they have done on numerous occasions, but this night would be very different. The atmosphere in the arena was tense, and there seemed to be something very different about Roman Reigns himself, and we soon found out why this was. Roman told the Bloodline not to say anything because he was about to speak. And when Roman got on the microphone, he sought out his young cousin, Solo Sikoa. And the question was, what was Roman doing? What was he planning? Why did he call out his cousin, Solo Sikoa? We soon found out. Roman began to directly address Solo. Solo had a look on his face like maybe he thought Roman was going to fire him. Maybe Roman was going to attack him. What was happening? Roman told Solo that he knew that the elders sent him to the Bloodline and to help Roman, but now he needed Solo to basically pledge his allegiance to Roman and to acknowledge him. And what would Solo's answer be? Would he be, well, I'm not going to acknowledge you, and maybe he would punch Roman. But Solo ended up saying, I acknowledge you, Roman Reigns. And it was during this time when things started getting very sad very quickly, as there was possibly an off-the-script moment that was happening right before our eyes. Roman had a strange look on his face as he looked directly at Solo. He then extended his arms and wrapped them around Solo as Roman and Solo shared an emotional hug in the middle of the ring, as it seemed that Roman Reigns had dropped his WWE character for the moment, and instead this was two family members embracing in front of a worldwide audience. Something sad was happening there in the middle of the ring between Roman and Solo as they shared an emotional and sad embrace. The hug lasted about 10 seconds, and Roman let go of his cousin, stood back, and looked at him. And now it was back to being the character of Roman Reigns. But many fans believe that with that hug, we not only saw a sad moment, but we saw a very real moment. And it's something we will not soon forget. What are your thoughts about the sad moment that Brock Lesnar shared with fans at the 2022 SummerSlam pay-per-view? And what do you think about the sad moment between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa? Leave a comment below and give me your opinion. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell notification so you are notified when we upload a new video.